From the Playboy Club in London, it's the ultimate test of the best in poker. 12 great players battle it out in 3 different disciplines for the title of Premier League Mixed Game Champion.
And I'll hold them all the way. No limit soldier for life.
You're just owning me over there.
I'm either going to look like an absolute genius or the biggest donk. You're criticizing my play. You never won anything. How can you take it personally?
It's starting, I can feel it.
You know you have one thing that you're better than me? I tell the truth. You're taller. I think you're a donk.
I hate him. Idiots.
I just wanted to get out of here. I was like, this is like my family.
Just be quiet and say, every once in a while, just say, Tony G is my hero, then you're gonna do good.
Tony G is my hero.
I'm a poker fan. Yeah, we know you're a poker fan. You're not a poker player.
Oh, Manchester Tory. You won a tournament about 10 years ago, didn't you?
Luke Schwartz, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, genius, lady. We're doing a genius.
Look how ugly this is. Look what I make you do.
What would Luke do?
Oh, I'm not talking anymore. I've got a hand.
You're just a pigeon.
A pigeon.
Are you laughing at me?
Yes! She just doesn't let me win one hand. Have you ever let me win one?
It's not even the river yet. You're already complaining. Every hand you got.
What happened?
I'm still crushing it.
You guys got no hat. It was the time to go.
I'm not here to have fun.
All I know is I'm all in with any 2.
Never ends, does it? They just keep trying to rob you. Feel the power.
Always picking on the young guys.
It's always left to pick on anymore.
Did you see my cards? No. Because you've been spot on every single time.
Did I get owned by Timoshenko again?
How can I miss that? Sweet! Unreal! I'm making a show, bro.
Welcome to a brand new format from the Party Poker Premier League, the Mixed Game Championship. The poker scene is not just all about no-limit Texas Hold'em. In fact, the World Series of Poker offers bracelets in more than 10 different variations on the game. And now the Premier League has expanded to include pot limit Omaha and Hold'em as well, as we seek to find a more complete poker player. This is how the Mixed Game Championship works. Our 12 players have been split into 2 groups. Each group will play a game in 3 different disciplines, earning points for where they finish. First up, they'll play No Limit Hold'em, then Pot Limit Omaha, and finally Pot Limit Hold'em. The top 3 players in each group after 3 games will meet in a mixed game final. Where players are tied in the league, the player with the highest finish will be ahead. Let's take a look at the scoring. The winner of each game gets 8 points, the runner-up gets 6 points, third place gets 3 points, fourth 2, fifth 1, and it's 0 points to the player who gets knocked out first. A player can double the points they receive by playing their double-up cards. They can only do this in 1 of the 3 games. Once on the final table, each point will give a player 20,000 chips. Group B are now about to take to the table, and this half of the field features a WPT Player of the Year, a Poker Hall of Famer, and some of the game's most successful young stars.
He's a member of the Poker Hall of Fame and has over $4 million in career tournament winnings. Simply the ambassador of poker. It's Mike Sexton.
In any tournament, especially a one-table shootout like this, you just have to avoid the big mistake. And I think I'm pretty good about avoiding big mistakes, so hopefully that trend continues here today. We'll see.
One of the most prolific tournament grinders on the internet, it's UK's Ben Carpenter.
I'm young, so everyone will just assume I'm a maniac anyway.
He's a regular in televised cash games the world over and a former UK Open champion. It's the UK's Andrew Feldman.
I'm really up for this. It's in my hometown of London, in the new Playboy Club, and I really feel as if I'm going to be the one to take the title down.
He was the Bluff Player of the Year in 2010 and has over $4 million in career tournament earnings. It's Canada's Sorel Mizzi.
I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to give it my best shot.
This Ukrainian American is a virtual monster of the felt. He won the WPT Championship and the largest online tournament both in the same year. It's Yevgeny Timoshenko.
I really like playing in the Premier League. It's a very exciting tournament, and I think this Mixed Game Championship format is very interesting, and I like the inclusion of 2 other games.
the 2010 WPT Player of the Year, has 3 WPT final tables and the WSOP bracelet, all in the span of the last 18 months. This is American Andy Frankenberger.
I'm really excited to be here. This is my first time playing in the Premier League. I think it's an exciting format. I think it should be good for television. Looking forward to playing with some of these guys for the first time, and we'll see how it goes.
The second half of the field is ready to kick off their mixed game championship campaign, and I can tell you that Sorel Mitzi, Ben Carpenter, and Andrew Feldman have all decided to use their double up cards. This means they get double the points for this match. Let's talk strategy. Sorel, why use it in the first game?
Well, I gave it a lot of thought, and then I didn't really know what the right answer was. But I knew that it was between the first and the last, and because PLO is probably a little too volatile. And then I just like flipped a coin, to be honest, and decided to go with the first one.
Fair enough, 50-50 shot on it, so good luck. Ben, what was your thought behind this one?
I agree with Seth Rogen. It's yeah, it's same thing. Like, I just want to get off to a good start. I'm not going to use it in PLO because it's going to be a bit crapshooty. So, and I don't want to save it. I don't want to get, like, you know, abused in the final game. So yeah, just use it straight away.
Was that your thinking as well? You didn't want people to know exactly how many points you had left in the final game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously these kind of point structures are very tactical, and yeah, like Ben says, a lot of these sharks at the table will use it to their advantage. And yeah, it's always good to get off to a good start. I played a lot of these no limit hold'em TV structures. I feel it's my strongest game out of the 3, so you got to put double points where you feel your strongest game is. So.
Okay. Well, good luck to all the sharks at the table.
It's the B-roll, Group B of the Premier League Poker Mixed Game Championship. 3 of these 6 going to go through to the final table. New possibilities for everyone. Your prediction, Luke, on the 3 to go through?
You know, probably Timoshenko's the favourite. Carpenter, Feldman, and Sorel. I would say it's between those 3 is the other 2.
Seat 1 raised 5,000. Seat 2.
Instant
call.
Quick call from Frankenberger behind. First time he's put chips in the pot.
Seat 4 pass. Seat 5 pass.
Frankenberger, I don't know if he's played many. I certainly never played a TV sit and go over here in Europe, but WPT champion, three WPT final tables and a WSOP bracelet in the span of 18 months. Fairly impressive little run.
Seat 6 shift.
It's a good spot for Feldman to check raise, even though he's got just no equity in the hand. You know, he can so easily rep an 8 here. You know, Sorel betting into 2, maybe his range is slightly thinner, but
Seat 2 call.
and now Feldman will just fold.
I mean, with the fact that Frankenberger called, does it make it a better spot for him to raise, or actually does it look like someone's going to have a jack at this stage?
Well, even if they got a jack, they have to fold it. They're going to have to be folding it, really. So it was a good spot for Feldman to raise there. I don't even like the call on the flop from Frankenberger. It's like,
what mode is Mitzi in right now? Is he in check fold, check call, check I don't know?
Yeah, I think that was a sort of a check I don't know. It's a kind of a weird spot because he probably thinks he has the best hand. He doesn't want to bet it because, I mean, he could have bet it actually.
It's a weird sort of bet from Frankenberger, isn't it? Because if he had a pocket pair, wouldn't he check back? So
yeah, no, he's just representing a jack.
A jack and only a jack.
Pretty much, yeah. But, you know, Charles got his side, just has to fold. But, yeah, he could have bet that turn, actually.
Frankenberger stepping up to the plate when given the offer. And
if he does bet, I think he should have bet that turn, actually. He puts even low pocket pairs, they have to fold almost on the turn, I think. So it's like, you're only really going to get called by a jack, so it's quite a safe barrel.
We'll be back with more action from the Playboy Club London as the Party Poker Premier League Mixed Game Championship continues after the break. Welcome back to the Party Poker Premier League Mixed Game Championship. Last time out, we saw Max Pescatori, Tony G, and Matt Giannetti in action in Group A. And now Group B are at the table for the first time. Their lineup includes Mike Sexton, Sorel Mitzi, and Yevgeny Timoshenko. Let's get back over to the game with Luke Schwartz and Jesse May.
Missed flush draw apparently, and he was so sure that was me, and I knew. I would have remembered because I played against him,
yet to play
a guy like that. So I
C3 pass.
Right.
That was basically. I think that was. But then no, we bet his exit hand.
C4 pass. C5 raised to 5,000.
No, we just made one.
C6 pass.
It was like
one
for 10K or something.
Yeah, his exit hand in the London High Roller.
Yeah.
And I knew the hand. I had ace. I had nines, he had ace queen suited, and he had all in free flop, he turned an ace. And no, we didn't bet. I don't know if we bet on that.
Pretty sure you did.
Oh yeah, whether he took me out. That was a bet, wasn't it?
It was not only like whether he took you out, but
this is an interesting flop. They both got a piece of it.
And is this another hand where Ben Carpenter in the cutoff with the 7-8 suited, is it too nitty for him to fold?
That's way too nitty.
So he's.
I was actually the one.
He had to do this. And for Frankenberger.
You guys are so confident, then why don't you bet on it? And both of them were like, yeah, I'll
he
bet
called
on
out
it.
the big.
Check call all the time here.
Yeah, he's gonna just check call. I mean, it's a pretty standard
I
play.
like your side though. I did like your side because usually it's the person who like was involved in that hand.
C2 call.
Like you're gonna know.
Turn could get more interesting. Carpenter is
I think
probably.
Carpenter should almost bet every turn here.
Really?
Yeah, just you know, even if a bad card like that comes, diamond protects his hand.
And I knew that I've never even played Legends of Poker.
Well, with the plan being that it's very hard for Frankenberger to raise you without a hand that beats you.
It's just unlikely that Frankenberger's got a flush, so
you may have played it when you were
I'll just bet every turn if I was Carpenter.
Not only would I have had to play it, but I would have to like forget that I played with someone.
Yeah, which is something you're not. And it's the same. Someone like him, I know I would remember.
And the size of the bet, half the pot, fair enough.
And it was like
Frankenberger's now he's got to really make a decision, right? Because he can't call here and then fold on a blank river, can he?
No, of course he can. I mean, everyone says that. That's like old school. Like, you call here, you have to fold the river. Like each street's different. You got to make decisions based on what you feel on each street. So it's not like you have to fold and know exactly what he's doing on the river.
Now
the river will just go check anyway, probably. I mean, it would be a good value bet if he did bet it, but
really?
Well, I mean, what's he behind? Now Queen's come anyway, so if the other guy did have an 8 there chopping, could push him off a chop. He's just he knows where he is. Ben's played this hand well. He's just bet small every street, you know. He's just towning Frankenberger here. Frankenberger really has to realise this is probably not beating much, you know. If Carpenter was bluffing, he probably would have bet for like 25 on the river, so it feels like a value bet for sure. So I think the ace-5 just got to throw it away.
But if Frankenberger does call, not only is he going to lose the pot, but psychologically he's going to lose a massive amount to Carpenter because.
No, he's not. That's bold. I don't know. It's 15,000 chips.
No, I mean,
it's not a big deal.
Oh, come on. Ben's gonna slam the cards down on the table.
He won't. This is a chilled pot. This is a first level, Jesse.
C2 call.
Watch. Oh, he is. Oh, Ben's gonna taunt him. He's gonna needle him.
He's not gonna needle him. You're making a big deal out of this one. This is a bold little pot, mate.
You have to admit, it psychologically makes Carpenter feel good that he can value bet these guys on the river, right? I mean, that was...
I guess so, yeah. I mean, as I said, he played it well. He bet small every street. He played it how I would have played it as well.
The early start for Ben Carpenter going well. And he's using his double-up card. Wouldn't he love to see this trend continue? Carpenter made his televised poker debut in the big game and now intends to make a huge Premier League splash.
I find poker really easy. Like, I've been playing for so long that everything comes naturally. I never feel uncomfortable playing against whoever I'm playing against, and I just got to prove that to other people. I actually think I'm probably the best, if not top 3 player here. I might not have that much live experience, but hand for hand, I'm probably the most experienced player as I play 30, 40 tables online all day, every day. So I think I feel like I've got an edge, even against good players.
Big hands were like the most interesting ones were on there anyway. We don't need to, I'm not going to like, all we need to do
10
is
hands played, and
tell me.
great start for Ben Carpenter. Timoshenko's basically what he thought he's played as well.
But I thought these were just, they had it chipped.
They're commenting on it.
No, these are like, these cards are like magnetic. They can read it. There's a magnetic sensor.
Don't like this from Frankenberg, you know, raising under the gun +1 ace rag off suit. That would be in the muck for me.
It's just there's very little upside here for you. Or?
Yeah, you know, if you do get called, you got bad reverse implied odds. You get free bet a decent amount. It's about ace 4 suited is okay to raise that. Ace 4 off, I wouldn't do it.
Seat 5 raise.
And then when you do get 3 bet and you got a hand like this, you're like, oh, why did I raise? If you had like 10-9 suited or something, you got 3 bet. He wouldn't feel as bad, but when you get 3 bet and you got the ace rag, you feel owned until.
And this is odd. I mean, Frankenberg obviously.
This is just bad.
Well, he's making the call because he's in position.
But the way I look today,
does he have to now like basically
It's
float?
just bad. I mean, look, he's gonna be a big pot. I mean, he's gonna find it hard to fold. You know, he's got a gut shot as well. Want Ben to bet. How much did he bet there?
5.
I think he's bet about. Is it 15?
You gonna kiss me?
Okay, thank you.
12.
12. I would have liked a bigger bet here. Actually, you know, you just got such a nutted hand. You'll get the pot big.
And now that Frankenberger's called, what should Ben be thinking? I mean, it's
he's
unlikely to be an ace, right?
All Carpenter's thinking is no 3, no 4, and no 5, really. And of course, it's the worst card in the deck for him. And he's going to check it. And he's going to be forced to call 1 street, and he's going to be in a tough river spot. I know he's not going to fold now.
I mean, that's Frankenberger just.
I mean, he's lucky actually, Carpenter. If he had bet more on the flop, this would have been a way tougher spot. But as it is, there's only 50 in the middle. I mean, that is a lot, but there could have been 80 in the middle by now.
Right, and Ben Carpenter could have to start playing for his whole stack at this stage.
Yeah, and now, you know,
15,000.
15,000. He's never going to be folding for 15,000. It's a bad bet from Frankenberger here. It's a bit too. Both bets. The flop bet wasn't big enough for me from Ben.
Frankenberger has to bet more because if he was bluffing, he would be betting more. So it just isn't automatic where you're betting at least half the pot there, right?
Yeah, I mean, you bet like a third of the pot or a quarter of the pot. I mean, you just don't do that. Especially not like nutted hand. The guy could have ace king, the guy could have ace queen. You want to get a lot of value from your hand. You just hit your miracle card. And I think Carpenter will have to fold this river. I mean,
2 bets, 25,000.
Flush has got there, ace jack's got there.
He's only bet 25K.
I mean, it's very unlikely that Carpenter does. I mean, Frankenberger does have a flush, but at the same time, Carpenter at the moment doesn't really beat anything. This jack river should save Carpenter, I think.
5 call.
I mean, it's an unlucky run out for him, really. I mean, he was going to get a lot of money out of him on bricks because I don't think Frankenberger would have folded.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, and believe me, Frankenberger's enjoyed showing those.
I mean, I think that he got very lucky in that hand. He should not have been calling the 3-bet with ace 4 off. And
the turn?
Yeah, not the worst
turn.
A little smile from Frankenberger. He now takes the chip lead.
Yeah, but
and Ben Carpenter does the word pigeon, is that what's going through his mind right now?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, he's thinking that Frankenberger, what the hell are you doing calling my 3-bet with ace 4?
You pigeon?
Maybe, possibly you pigeon, yeah.
That just on the TV, I'm just not
he's sick to death about that.
It's kind of important that you're complimentary about Ben Carpenter's game. He models himself.
It would obviously put me in a if I did see your hand, it's going to put me in a if I did have a hand, it's going to put me in a tough spot.
5,000.
I think you call him half.
I just say I did see your hand, and then that's your.
And I think this game was kind of broken into two sides. Sorrell, Ben Carpenter are really going, oh, Sorrell's got something here.
Yeah, sure.
And
Seat 4 call.
Timoshenko
Seat
thinking
5
briefly about the squeeze. Would it have been a good spot?
No, I don't think he was ever thinking about the squeeze, but...
Now Luke would call me a pigeon if I folded this. So I'm not folding this hand.
Yeah, he's right.
Six,
He would be a
six,
pigeon
four.
if he was to fold 3k more four-way in a big blind at 10-9.
Yeah, correct.
Four-way pot here.
And
Mitzi, pretty happy actually.
No, I mean, you don't want 4 quarters anyway. It's going to really get into
Slot,
trouble.
that's for sure.
Seat 6
This
check.
it should get back from Mizzy here. Because what's he going to do? You can't really just check call here with the ace-king, so you just got to bet your equity
Seat
here.
1, bet 16,000.
Mitzi's problem is that the difference between having the king of clubs right now and the ace of clubs
There is a big
huge.
difference,
Right.
but at the same time, and you just have to bet it. You know, if you had something like,
Seat 2
yeah,
call.
I mean, even if you had 10s with the 10 of clubs, you'd be betting that as well. You
Seat
just have to
pass,
bet this hand.
seat
And he bet it
6
quite large. I
pass.
mean, he bet about 2/3 of the pot, and
2 players.
this is
It's an interesting spot if the club doesn't come. It's going to be whoever has the aggression wins. And that's a great barreling card, this one. I mean, I shouldn't be giving all my tricks to the audience, but whenever it pairs the bottom card, especially a completely blank card, which no one would ever have, like a deuce, this is just so good to just rep it. You can rep everything. You can rep an overpair, a flush, a full house. It's just the easiest bet in the world.
What about the dynamics of the fact that the last time these two were in
It
a
just doesn't matter. It's just like,
Seat
I would
1,
bet here with my
bet
entire range when it pairs the
26,000.
two.
Seat 2 pass.
And look, you know, Frankenberger just has to give him credit for a hand.
Maybe.
well, feeling okay, getting his mojo back a little bit.
I spent a couple years in the Army as a reservist, and I would play like a lot there. And I was probably like, of the 12 to 15 guys that played, I was probably like the 5th best. I wasn't really good until I started playing online and just like analyzing the game from a new perspective. But even though I was 5th best, I had good game selection back then, and I'd usually play against like the 6th to the 12th best. So I ended up winning some paychecks, so that was good. And yeah, I won a few tournaments in 1 week, and I haven't really looked back. Generally speaking, I go a lot off my gut and my intuition. I trust my first instinct a lot, and I'm not really a mathematical, analytical player. I think I'm one of the few players who has as much experience, not only online, where I've put in the hours and I've seen the situations, and I've just played so many hands where I just know what to do in a lot of spots. But I also have like a lot of live experience where I've been grinding the circuit now for like 3 or 4 years, and I've had a lot of success at that as well. So I think that's the one thing that I have over most of the opponents, is that I just have experience in both forms, and I know what I'm doing,
Mitzi now taking the temporary lead. A little bit of a seesaw going on here. Mitzi, Frankenberger, and Carpenter have occupied top spot. Currently it's
Seat 3
Sorrell.
raise to 5,000. Seat 4 and 5, 6 pass. Seat 1 pass.
Sexton with the raise. Thunderous.
Seat 2 call.
I'm beginning to think Frankenberger just can't help
2
himself.
players.
I mean, the 9 deuce. The 9 deuce. The Montana banana. I've got some funny
Seat
names
2
for it
check.
for a word, Luke. For a reason. It's horrible. Even
Seat 3
now.
bet.
Sexton's led at this, and Frankenberger hasn't snapped mucked. He's got the Gus Hansen in him a little bit, doesn't he? Always thinking. Always looking like he's going to find a way to try and do something. But no, not really. Not really.
Wow, this is just
Seat 2 raise.
beyond
to
me.
Well, obviously, Frankenberger, a man with a plan,
Seat
Luke.
3 pass.
sort of decided that he was going to basically check raise all flops that didn't look like Mike, and that's what he's done, and it's worked out.
Yeah,
He's lively, isn't he?
Regardless, it was a bad play.
We'll be back with more from the Playboy Club in London as the Party Poker Premier League Mixed Game Championships continues after the break.
Welcome back to the first ever Party Poker Premier League Mixed Game Championship from the Playboy Club London. 12 players are competing in 3 different disciplines to find out who is the best of the best. Back over to the No Limit Texas Hold'em League match of Group B.
Welcome back, myself and Luke Schwartz in the box. Still 6 on this table. 3 players using their double up card this time, and they're quite evenly spaced out. Second, fourth, and Ben Carpenter in 6th. It's really no fault of his own, Ben Carpenter. He's played quite well, hasn't he?
They're all playing decent. I mean, Frankenberger's coming first. I don't like how he's played, but you know, maybe this is just how he plays early on when everyone's deep. He just likes to get involved with whatever and just see flops and stuff. It's not the worst play.
Lines 2 and 4,000. There is this psychological thing, isn't there, about not wanting to go out first, but the truth is really any of the bottom 4 spots are punishing.
And it works really well. Like the dealer just puts it as soon as like
the players are really being convinced to play.
Oh yeah? What, in Australia?
Go figure, that's why you like it so much. This is great stuff.
Usually
you never know.
Like a lot better for the online guys because they're so used to making
Full raise to 10,000.
Now, Carpenter on the button to Timoshenko's cutoff. How does he balance the fact that Timoshenko hasn't gotten out of line yet?
5 re-raise.
This is standard sort of re-raise here?
Yeah, he could have. I mean, he was never folding. He could re-raise or flat.
He's kind of got a lot of his chips involved now, doesn't he?
This is a spot where I think Sorrell's just going to fall bet, but he doesn't.
1 pass.
I think that was a good spot for it because he could just 4-bet fold there and it wouldn't be the biggest deal. You know, he just risked 40,000 to take down 40,000 essentially, and Carpenter's not going to shove him with, you know, Carpenter could even fold ace queen there in that spot. So I would have liked to see Sorrell 4-bet there, but.
And it's not about physical tells here. It's just
betting patterns. You know, he knows that Carpenter's going to be light here a lot of the time on the button, re-raising Timoshenko's cut-off raise. So he's just going to put it back in his eye sometimes, and there he's done it.
Don't you also think there's a sort of a psychological thing where it's important for Timoshenko to do this the first time that it happens? These guys are going to be playing together 3 heats straight. Don't you have to kind of get off on the right foot in these battles?
You know, I don't think it's that important really, because these 4-bets and stuff, it's early stages, you know.
I really should jam there.
Yeah, he wants to jam it. He knows it's really tough to do it.
Nah, he has nothing.
And Ben Carpenter meets Yevgeny Timoshenko.
He says he had nothing. He knew he had nothing, but you know, it's just too hard.
I'm not sure enough to get on the bagel. I'm not sure enough to shove, obviously.
I bet you had a big hand.
Me?
No, yeah.
Look at Feldman always gets the big hand.
That had a big hand?
No, you had a big hand.
You had a big hand. You had a huge hand. Yeah,
If I wanted to bet, he didn't. I'd have moved all in.
He is though, Andrew, is one of the best at getting people to tell him what he had, because he just.
I'm sure he had a big hand.
You kind of feel Ben Carpenter may have been guilty of just playing a little bit on autopilot. You know, the moves you might do sort of naturally on the internet, you got to be aware that when Yevgeny Timoshenko's on your right, you might have just wanted to fold, actually.
I mean, he can't fold the king-10 suited pre-flop. He has to 3-bet or call it. It's just too weak to fold. But since he had position and it flopped so well, I might have opted for the flat call. I don't know what Feldman's doing here, raising 10-6. So.
Mitzi seems to have a good little bead on Feldman, or just maybe he's shadowing him.
I really don't. Oh, he's got king-8 suited. Fair enough.
Do you like Frankenberger's call here, or would you 3-bet it?
I would 3-bet that like 99% of the time. Yeah, and he has. I mean, it's an easy 3-bet.
But three bet it quite large, right? I mean, you're not looking for callers there, are you? Out of position.
Not particularly, but then you. If he feels like he's ready to go broke with the ace queen, he doesn't want to bet it three bet it too large, because then he can't get anyone to 4-bet fold. So, you know, if he made it like 35k, no one can 4-bet to 70k and then fold for 150 more or something. So he likes to give people room to do stuff.
He's gone for the re-raise, 25k, and Feldman.
6 pass.
Really just sort of saving face
get
there.
out of the way. I don't really like this from Sorrell. I would have preferred Sorrell to have just 3-bet it in the first place rather than flatting. But we've got an interesting pot brewing here.
Has Sorrell got a plan? Is Sorrell going to miss?
He's got position, you know, so he's hit. It will be interesting. I mean, Frankenberger has to see bet this board. You know, King 10-6 and hits his range all the time.
Feldman said.
Well, looks like. Oh yeah, Feldman had top 2. I mean, bottom 2. So this is going to be interesting. If Frankenberger bets and Sorrell will just obviously call, he'd never raise. If a blank comes on the turn, it would be interesting to see whether Frankenberger can push off, put one more bet in there.
And even this bet is of a serious nature.
I mean, he's setting up a bit. He's setting up the pot now. He's bet half pot. It's going to be 135 when Sorrell calls.
And this is why you weren't crazy about Sorrell calling with the King 8 in the first place.
Yeah,
because
he just doesn't know where he is now, does he? I mean, did he just fold?
No, he's called.
He's called, yeah.
He's called, and if the turn bricks.
So that's kind of an interesting turn. That's kind of a harder turn to bet, because, you know, Sorrell could have a hand like Jack 10 suited. It doesn't seem like Sorrell would have called the flop actually with Jack 10 suited, so maybe Frankenberger can deduct this and feel like I can push Sorrell off some draw or it is a hard turn to bet here, though. You know, he doesn't expect Sorrell to fold a king. Sorrell could have a 10, even though it's unlikely.
Well, right, because if Frankenberger, in his mind, if Sorrell's got a king, it's actually quite a good king. It looks like king, queen,
yeah,
king.
Exactly. You know, Sorrell's hand looks kind of face up right now for like king, jack, king, queen suited. So
what about jack, queen, or even what Frankenberger has,
said,
ace, jack?
It doesn't really look like Sorrell would have called the 3-bet with like 10-9. No, I mean would have called on the flop with a 10. So I mean, yeah, he could have queen jack. It looks like Sorrell's got a king.
I wonder if Frankenberger's thinking to himself, if he bets the turn, he's committed to betting the river, isn't he?
No, as I said, that's old school, bro, and you got to take every street differently.
And the fact that Sorrell's using his double up card and Frankenberger's not.
No, that's got no. Nothing on this, and he's checking. No, I don't blame him for the check. It's a tough card to bet. I don't think Sorrell's ever betting here either. Just don't see the point in it, really. I mean, he's not getting called by queens if he bets.
One check.
No, and Frankenberger could have a couple hands that beat him that he was checking as well. And wow.
He's hit now. And I think Sorrell will have to fold this, because it's just now no hand that Frankenberger could have to. Because Sorrell knows Frankenberger will not bet this river with queen. So what now when Frankenberger bets, the only hand Sorrell beats is like a complete bluff.
With 2 4s?
Yeah, I mean, he would have flatted 2 4s, so like a total bluff, like an ace-5 suited pre-flop or 6-8 suited pre-flop, or his 6s hit the flop. But, you know, just something that just has none of this board at all. I mean, it's going to be, I think, an easy fold for Sorrell. The only way he could get called if he bets really small, but I think he's going to go for value, try and put Sorrell on the king, queen, king, jack, and just bet like 65k or something.
C2 bet 60,000.
Yeah, that's what I thought. About 60k. Nah, Sorrell's just hating it.
Really bad card on the river.
He just knows. He's literally beating 0 hands.
There, huh?
And Sorrell has to weigh up
60?
actually.
60.
He's getting some nice pot odds, but losing 60k from his stack right now.
This is not a pot odds type. You know, before when Ben Carpenter had to call 25k and 200k, more of a pot odds. This is a big bet. I think it's well, I would not have called, but to Sorrell's credit, you know, Frankenberger, he's shown up with some funny hands, ace-4 off, you know, he could have a bluff. He could have had a bluff, but it's just on that board, there just wasn't many bluffs. Sorrell just had to just pray that if he was going to call, he was just going to be shown some major donking hand.
And the fact that Frankenberger did get paid off there maybe shows that his strategy is sort of paying off. It's tough to get paid off by a good player like Sorrell Mitzi, and Frankenberger's done it.
Before I played poker professionally, I was an equity derivatives trader on Wall Street for 14 years. It's a very tense, pressure-filled environment, and where you're required to think on your feet, make very big decisions that can make or lose hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. It's very tense. It's a very competitive, very aggressive, confrontational environment. So it's prepared me really well for poker. Eventually, I walked away from my career. I was fortunate to be in a financial position where I could leave my career. And I just, for the next 9 months, I just traveled around and I took up some new hobbies and really did some soul searching and figured out what I wanted to do next. I decided to go out to California. I have some friends and family out there. I decided to go visit them and play at the Legends of Poker. And I figured, you know, I'll play for a couple days, hang out with my friends and family, and who would have thought that I would win that WPT tournament. I ended up making another final table, Festal Lago, and making another deep run at the 5 Diamonds. So it was a really wildly successful year for me. And you know, I'm still scratching my head when I look back and think about it all. Being WPT Player of the Year was probably my single greatest accomplishment because it shows you didn't just have success in one tournament, but it was throughout the whole year. And then after I won Player of the Year, I won a bracelet this past summer. So I really feel like I made the right decision to leave Wall Street. It sort of validated all those decisions, and you know, really excited to be here playing poker professionally. You know, a lot of people have a tough time figuring me out because I'm not a young internet guy and I'm not an old, experienced poker player. And I think one of the things that I have going for me is that my game is still evolving, and I'm fairly new to it. I've only played professionally, this is my 2nd year now. And so people who think they've figured me out have got another one coming to them because I still haven't figured myself out.
And Frankenberger, not only in charge, but completely dominant right now.
I mean, he just won a pot, just so you know. It's just, he's not completely dominant.
He's owning these guys. He's
not owning them. He's
another league, another level.
Like just on the bet side, I guess. When you check, you reevaluate the turn if Sorrell bet.
Seat 5 call.
Or are you going to just will you
I certainly have to reevaluate if you bet.
Sorrell's raised this up from the cutoff, and
you don't know.
You know, he looks to me like a man who's on a bit of tilt. Does he look like that to Carpenter as well?
I mean, everyone's gonna think he's feeling tilted. He just lost a huge pot, biggest pot of the game so far. Probably feels like he should have folded the river.
Obviously on the turn.
Of course he can. You're gonna reevaluate.
Top pair for Carpenter.
I have to say I don't like the call from the small blind with Ben Carpenter's
big blind, big blind.
Oh, big blind. Okay, that's
right.
right.
I don't
know how you play it. Probably kill.
Neither of these guys has the stack, Luke, to be playing a big pot without a big hand.
I listed the hands where if I get, here's what I would do.
I didn't get it. Can you send it to me now?
I mean, there's a lot of good time cards for Mizzy here. You know, any high card that gives him a. It's hard to barrel this card though, because Carpenter could have hit that turn. He could have 2 pair or straight easily now. Yeah, he just has to pray for a 7 king or 10.
Exactly.
What do you have to do? He could make a fake blind. Wow, he's hit it.
Carpenter's not getting many favors tonight.
The sick thing is Carpenter could just bet there. And if I was Sorrel, I'd probably bet something smallish, like 22k or 18k. Yeah, he's just trying to get called. You can't bet too much here because no one really calls with a chop. He's gone for a bigger bet. I don't really like that.
To 35,000.
Because, you know, no one calls 35,000 here to chop.
Why not?
Because he has to call 35,000 to win 20,000. So that's just bad maths, isn't it? Look, he can only raise. I mean, well, this is interesting, really interesting. Maybe the big bet worked. Well, it's fallen for a good bet from Sorrel, I guess, because he knew he couldn't flat, so he knew he was just making the guy raise or fold. And yeah, this is an easy call from Sorrel. He'll just snap it off. I mean, what else is he's not going to fold 40k more, is he?
Seat 1 call.
Has Ben Carpenter fallen into one here? That raise on the river has really done his stack.
I mean, I thought Sorrel bet too much because I didn't think Carpenter would ever just check raise there, but I guess Sorrel thought that he would, and the best way was to bet big so that he'd have to raise big to get them off.
We'll be back after the break for more from the second league match of the Mixed Game Championship in London. Welcome back to the first Party Poker Premier League Mixed Game Championship. Half of the field is in action for our second league match, with the players being awarded points for where they finish. It's 8 points for the win, 6 for the runner-up, and then 3, 2, 1, and 0 for the first player knocked out. At the end of the season, it'll be the top 3 in each group who goes through to the final table. Now let's get back to the action.
This game has developed. Ben Carpenter early on the short stack, Frankenberger on top.
Did you win that one?
Yeah. And Sexton just sitting patiently, waiting for a couple guys to bust themselves out.
It's easy to say on one thing. It was a bad river.
Yes.
Another 2 there.
You got it.
Players were talking before, Luke, about what is the over/under for how many points it'll take to make the top 3.
And you're right.
I think you're going to need like 14 points, I would say.
Yep. Seat 5
Well,
raised to 10,000.
What's third prize? What's third? 4 points. No, 3 points for
3 points for third.
So, and with double points, you can need 12 points basically.
That's what Timoshenko said. And how much trouble is Feldman going to be here if he 3-bets it? I mean, it's a cooler kind of for Feldman with the situation, isn't it? Carpenter's been active. He's short stacked. He's a little desperate.
Feldman could fold the re-raise. I mean, yeah, it's a tough spot for Feldman. I think he kind of felt like he had to 3-bet him.
And isn't Carpenter capable of? Doesn't he look like he's capable of having an underpair here sometimes? I mean, can you really give this up if you're Feldman?
I don't. I mean, how much more is it going to be?
Well, it's 10. Feldman made it quite small, 23. So
I mean, I think Carpenter's best play is just to
40.
I don't know if I like that. What else is
Yeah,
I guess he's too big for a jam.
Oh, sorry, I thought you raised to 20, 22.
You could put 46.
raise, min raise, min re-raise.
Well, now Feldman knows he's got no fold equity if he jams, you know. He's got 100k behind. Just whether Feldman thinks.
Right?
I think Feldman's going to fold. I think it is a fold. Think about it. I mean, Carpenter is definitely going to call the re-raise all in. He's put 50k and he's got 100k back. And so if he's going to call the all-in, he's going to be flipping versus 8s, or 8s is going to be dominating. I don't like that. That's bad. I don't like that at all.
And what is Feldman's plan here? Is his plan to just to decide that he's going to have to go with maybe small boards?
Yeah, maybe he's just saying no ace-king and I'll go with it. Well, this is going to pan out bad for Feldman, I think. Just a terrible flop for Feldman. I didn't like the flat. I think
he has gotten cooler a little bit here, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think when Carpenter re-raised, I think he just had to fold or jam.
34,000.
Maybe Feldman can find the fault now. No.
Seat 6 call. All in, seat 6.
He's not happy. He's seen the bad story. It's huge news for Ben Carpenter, who's going to double himself right back in this if the 8 doesn't come. And Feldman's going to take over the short stack.
Thought you had it bigger than
early bad. Where's their karma in the 8s? No, an emphasis, an exclamation point on the river. Ben Carpenter back in biz. And Feldman's had his legs chopped. Feeling sick, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough spot. Feldman, of course, using his double up card, him, Carpenter, and Sorrell. And he now looking like someone who is going to put himself way behind in this tournament.
I would definitely call myself Marmite. Like, you either love me or you hate me. When people get to know me deep down, most people don't have a bad word to say. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that like to say a lot of bad things about me, spread rumors, just purely for jealousy. At the end of the day, I'm the one playing these events. I'm the one who's been successful, and that's what does the talking. So I try not to rise to it, and try and play the best poker I can, and let that do the talking at the table. I feel like the biggest quality which may give me the edge over my opponents is the fact I've played a lot of these TV formats before. The first ever one I played, which was thanks to Tony G getting me an invite, I happened to win the UK Open back in 2007. I've got a lot of experience in these formats. I know how to play stacks very well, and I feel my TV tournament record is pretty strong. And I feel like that should definitely give me an advantage. For sure, it'd be very nice to win another major title to give me some recognition and let the poker world know that I'm not just a player that plays against weak players online. I can take on the best. I have taken on the best before in big cash games, and I've been successful in most of them. So I know on my day I'm one of the top poker players in the world, and winning a title should certainly justify that.
I'm really only
the rest of the different pace to this match than Bay's no limit hold'em.
And if he has aces, I've got 20%.
Players a lot more cautious here. Perhaps the cold reality of the bagel possibility has hit them hard. Remember, they'll all be playing both pot limit Omaha and pot limit hold'em in later heats, and it's the top 3 from these 6 that are going to go through to the final table. Players who are using their double up card have to be extra special careful.
I bet on me. I could be wrong, but I bet on me.
I wish we could just come up with a way to find out the answer.
Section with the king queen. And for Timoshenko, I mean, is this?
It's a 3-bet spot, I think.
And is it clear?
I would 3-bet it. I don't know what he's going to do. He's cool. I guess he feels like he's got an edge on him post-flop. He doesn't mind playing out of position. And a great spot here for Carpenter. This can look like a squeeze so much.
Well, it does. In fact, I mean,
29,000.
But I think
it almost looks like Timoshenko might have done this with this intention. Like, Timoshenko's not above getting sucked in here for an induced squeeze to reshove.
No, of course he's never doing that, Jesse. That's crazy.
It is.
He's doing that with ace-10 suited. He's just kind of flop mining versus Sexton and thinks he can outplay him on the flop.
Mike's got to think about this. I mean, wow.
How much you playing, Mike?
That's why I was like so confused.
Wow, Sexton's made this a 4-bet. What do you think about that play?
It's not bad. I mean, he's going to get a lot of credit for it most of the time. Unfortunately, he's run into a big hand. And
Carpenter has to fold a lot of hands here, right?
Yeah, like even if Carpenter had ace-queen or pocket 9s or something, that's a big hand. But he'd be put in a tough spot when he's got those hands. Of course, Carpenter's almost top of the range with his ace king. So
210 more.
he's going to move all in for sure.
All in.
State 5, all in.
He certainly has. And I mean, was there any consideration for Carpenter about sort of the risk of going out first? He'd be very surprised to feel like that Sexton can 4-bet fold here, right?
Possibly, but you know, ace king, what are you going to do? The guy's on the button. I mean, it's just a great spot there. It's an easy shove.
Easy shove works out. And we've still yet to lose a player.
I don't know. It's got a light
Still
on you.
six-handed. Still no points have been allotted.
Shove in there, like.
Premier League newcomer Andy Frankenberger has been a breath of fresh air. He's storming through this heat. Nearly $500,000 and yet to see a player knocked out. Andrew Feldman well on the bottom, and with his double-up card in play, will he be bagelled out? Plenty to play for here with 8 points on top and 0 at the bottom.
This league match continues as our poker pros battle it out for vital points required to take them into the top 3 spots for qualification to the final table.
Always a sweat. Never easy.
They're trying to pick on the old guys.
I deserve a bit of luck on TV.
You want to do this? I do now.
What would Luke do?
I can't believe you fold kings there. I mean,
You're just a pigeon.